on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, I will try to do this fast, but let's take a look at the market real quick. Fear and Greed Index 43. Let's see what Binance here is saying. Still extreme fear here at 20, so Binance is not buying it. Yeah, so we got some stuff going on over here, and people are in Twitter. They're calling Ethereum dead. That tends to be a pretty. It's not financial advice, right, guys? It's not financial advice. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like this content. Whenever you hear everybody calling a project dead, especially something as big as Ethereum, yeah, watch out. Because the market, they tend to try to cause the most pain, right? And if a lot of people are trying to get out of Ethereum to go into Sol, right, then maybe Ethereum will end up pumping like crazy and people will be completely upset. So, yeah, so watch for that. XRP still pumping really good, but it's pumping really good, but it just doesn't move. It just here stuck at this 62 cents. So, whatevs. All right, memes. So we look at our memes. Everything in the last 24 hours is doing pretty good. We got Brett over here with double digits, 15%. Popcat, 12%. Mog Coin, almost 27%. Book of Meme, 10. And Punky, 21%. Dog Runes, 14. Look at Pepecoin, guys. Boom, 24%. I told you guys I was going to buy some Pepecoin yesterday when it was around $1.70. I was going to buy after the video. I was so tired. Once I was done with the video, I totally crashed. And by today, it was over. I mean, let's see. Was it here? No. No, I missed this whole thing here. This whole thing, I missed it. But it's okay. It's all right. It's all right, y'all. And so, yeah, so Pepecoin doing pretty good. I would not be surprised that a lot of this has to do with the whole Wintermute acquisition. There's people that are starting to notice. But then at the same time, the markets are moving, right? So it's not only that. Actually, it might not even be that, honestly. And I'm looking at these other tokens as well, and they're moving just as much. So, yeah. So we got that there. Take a look at these tokens, see what's going on over here. Alex Jones, 16%. And it retraced a little bit, so it was even better a couple hours ago. So that's sweet. Tucker, let's check out Tucker. Tucker almost 9%. So Tucker doing okay. Just need Tucker to hit like 10 cents, man, so that people could get really excited. 10 cent would put it at around 100 million. Doug recuperating a little bit as well, 15%. See Shido, 4%. Pepecoin, we looked at it, and now we're going to look at BasedAI. BasedAI, 15% recovery here. But, I mean, for me, if I were to invest, I would still buy BasedAI. I mean, at this market cap, it really is very, very, very cheap. A 2x from here would put it at where it was at like not long ago. Okay, a 2x from there, pretty much. Put it around $5, right? So, Yeah, so let's come in here. We're going to talk a little bit about this is the rest of the video is going to be about this the base AI, the acquiring a brain, the miners, validators, and I don't know. Maybe we'll touch up on this. Well, yeah, we'll touch up on that. And so I was looking at this, right, since we've been talking about the white paper, right? And so we've talked in depth here, getting a brain, right? So if you are a brain owner here, you're incentivized, right, with Base to manage the brains properly by selecting worthwhile ZK LLMs and incentive models. These models will attract computational power. So depending on these models that us brain owners will choose, that will attract what type of miners and validators are going to come to work, right, under that brain. Okay, additionally, the more base staked to a brain and the more efficient miners and validators are at running on their brain, the more base rewards they all earn. Okay, and this we know that to become a brain owner, you must acquire one via Pepecoin. Okay, there's no other way. You got to burn Pepecoin or you got to stake Pepecoin. Oh, but it says here acquire one via Pepecoin or the open market. I don't know. This is interesting. I thought you can only get it via Pepecoin. So I don't know exactly what this means. Maybe when people go ahead and they unstake, if you go the staking route and then you won your Pepecoins back, then maybe here you can, there could be like a trading going on back and forth. So, but yeah, so the key here is whoever is going to be a brain owner is to, from now, okay, this is something that I'm going to have to do is figure out, okay, this right here. This, what models, okay, to kind of try to get a better idea about these models, right? These ZKLMs models, because you want to select a good ZKLM model, right? Because the better you choose this, the more computer power, right, you're going to attract. And so what you want is you want miners and validators to be working in your brain NFT. And so, yeah, because the more miners and validators you have, okay, without being super saturated, because you don't want to have like too many and then not be able to, produce enough for everybody to eat. Okay. But if you're running it efficiently, then the more base rewards you will earn. So if you're going to have a brain, you also have a choice if you want to run a miner or if you want to run a validator, right? Miners are incentivized to pick a brain that is high performing. Okay, this high performing here is this whole deal, right? Of picking the correct model, ZKLM model. But you don't want that brain to have a high number of miners. Okay, so you want a good brain. You want a good brain, but you don't want it to be saturated. To run the model required by the given brain and to report truthfully. Okay, GPUs are preferable for these tasks as the computational resources requirement for running LMs are higher. So GPUs are needed for miners. Okay, To become a miner, pick a brain, register your wallet with the brain, choose the option to dedicate GPU resources, choose how much of your device's storage to allocate. If you want to stake, you could stake and start mining. Okay, so this is one way, okay, of participating is dedicating your GPU resources, right, to mine, to be able to mine in the particular brain that you choose. If it is your own brain, well, then you choose your own brain and you dedicate your miner, to mine in your particular brain. Another way to do it is validators, and I think this is where, I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if it was yesterday's video or 2 days ago, where they were mentioning something about iPads and iPhones, tablets and phones, that you might be able to use it for something. And I think it comes down to these validators, because the validators, okay, let's read this here and let's try to, I'm gonna try to see if it, tells you, oh yeah, that sounds like that could be, you know, maybe a phone or whatever could be used for this. Validators are incentivized to pick a brain that is high performing, again, right? Yet does not have already a large number of validators. So same thing as the miners. You want a good brain, okay? But that it doesn't have already too many, it's not super saturated. To ensure that miners are correctly running the model required by their selected brain and to report truthfully. I think here they meant to say to ensure that the validators, right, are correctly running the model. Because let me see. Do, do. Yeah. To ensure that miners are correctly running the model required by their selected brain and to report truthfully. Okay. Well, we'll leave it like that. CPU machines are preferable as validators, okay? This is the part I want you guys to pay attention to. As the computational resources required are lower to perform this task. So if the computational resources are lower, then maybe a tablet or a phone that maybe has a chip that it's not really high performing, like you would need for a miner, because you want them to be running, okay, the computational resources required are higher. You're going to need some type of really, good computer that has a lot of GPU. And so maybe this is where the phones and the tablets might come into play. It would be probably as validators, and if that's the case, man, I have like 10 different tablets laying around the house that may be useful to actually do something like this. Okay, and this is what, if you ever consider to be a validator, then you pick a brain, register your wallet with the brain, choose the option to dedicate your CPU resources, choose how much of your device's storage to allocate. Okay, so you're gonna have to dedicate this probably permanently. Okay, so you want this thing, you want your validator to be running at all times. And number 5, option, okay, just like the mining, if you want to stake your base, you can, and start validating. And so here, okay, in this part, to become a validator or a miner, you must run a permanent memory operation. Boom. This is what I was saying here about the storage here, right? You must run a permanent memory operation to have that brain memorize your validator or miner address. The memorize function may have a fee depending on the brain owner's preferences. So you want this, right? You want whatever device you're going to use, it's going to be, you want to dedicate storage that is permanent, okay? So that you don't have to be potentially having to pay fees every single time as you want, your equipment to, just be running this at all time, right? So you want this to be as effective as possible, right? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to get those base rewards. So very, very important thing here. And then here it goes into acquiring the brains. We've talked about this in length in other videos, and this here. And then we'll talk about this other stuff maybe tomorrow or in the next video, whenever that may be. But yes, so what are the highlights of today's video here? Okay, if you're gonna become a brain owner, start finding out, okay, what is ZKLMs. I've already explained a little bit what this is, okay, in other videos, but do some more research, like what is all this lingo about, because this, whatever models we use for our brains, okay, they're going to determine how attractive it may be for miners and validators. So that's the one thing. The other thing is, if you want to be mining, then you have to have, a pretty good, strong, fast, and resourceful, okay, GPU dedicated for this mining. Okay, so you're gonna need I know I've seen some people, right, posting that. I think it's a 4090. What's it called? That 4090. I don't know if that's a computer or what that is, but it's definitely some machine there that it's probably will probably be a good fit to get, to run a miner if you're gonna be interested in that. And so following these steps, right? If you're going to be a miner, again, you want to get a brain that is high performing, okay, but it's not super saturated with other miners. If it is your own brain, well, then it's your own brain, right? So you're going to be making all the money for your own brain. But you also, like I said, you want to make sure that your brain is performing, even if it's not performing high performance, and you're doing, you're performing pretty well. I mean, you should be able to have a good source of income, in with your miners. Also, okay, so again, learn this whole ZKLM models, okay, start getting ready for that. If you're gonna be a miner, start understanding this whole step, right, of choosing the right brains, or if you're gonna be your own brain owner, learned a little bit how to get these things. If I have time in any other videos and I can dig a little bit more into this, maybe I can maybe show you whatever I learned or whatnot. It's looking like I'm going to be a little bit more interested in actually being a validator, because I do have like tablets and a computer that I'm using for some other stuff. I don't really mess around with them. And so maybe being a validator might be better, and I don't have to spend a lot of money in trying to get, a GPU to get something with really high computational power. So maybe this is a little bit more of what I might be able to do if I do end up getting a whole brain. I wish. If that's the case, then maybe I'll be a validator in my own brain. And again, you're incentivized to pick a high performing brain, all this stuff over here, right? Pick the good brain if it's not your own. If you're not going to get a brain, maybe consider being a validator, and like that, you can actually be able to make some money, right? Make some base by being a validator. And whatever resources, okay, you are going to dedicate for either or, whether it's the mining or the validator, remember that those resources might as well count them as lost, right? Because they're going to be permanently used for this operation. So hopefully that is as clear as mud. Guys, I don't want to prolong this any longer. I mean, we'll continue to look more into these things. But I just thought that I'd bring this over to you guys because at least it starts preparing us, right? To start thinking, well, like that, when mainnet comes around and the brains get launched, we're not like, what's going on? At least it gives us a little bit of time now to start fiddling around with this, and hopefully we can have a better idea and we can choose. If you're able to be a miner, then and you have the resources to be a miner, then go ahead. If you want to be a validator, and for, like I said, like for me, I am not planning on investing a whole lot of money into getting some big computational power. Just use whatever I have in hand. It could be a validator, and be able to use whatever resources I have, dedicate them for just this, and just print the money, right? Well, guys, thank you so much. I sure hope that this was helpful. If you found this education in any way, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you feel that somebody else can actually benefit from this, share it with them as well. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.